Now let's practice few problems to improve our modeling skill. Here I have a CSWA practice problems from level 1 to level 10. I will provide this PDF to you. Now let's begin with the level 1. Here I have a PDF file. When you open it, you'll find the description regarding the problem. I want you to go through the sketch given in the part and try to match your volume against given on the right top corner. So let's start with the problem 1.1. Now click on new document. I will use this millimeter template. Here I have added a sensor which measures the volume. You can also measure the volume from here on eValue tab and click on the mass property after you create the model. So let's start the modeling process. Now I will open the sketch on front side. Here I will add the bottom rectangle of 30, 60. Along with that, I will also add the circle whose diameter is 12. And I will fix its locations as given in the sketch. Now I can also draw the upper part, and I will use this sketch in second extrusion. Now let's add the dimensions. So overall dimension is 75. This dimension as given is 20. This dimension is 12. And from top, from here to here it is 12 as given in top view. And this is also given as 12. This distance is 20. This defines the entire sketch. Now press shortcut key and click on extrude. I will choose this part, this region, and I will extrude by 28 mm. Now I will expand and select the sketch, and again I will extrude the upper part by 20 mm. Now let's rebuild this. You will see the volume over here. It is 72593. So here in PDF, it is same answer, 72593. Now let's solve problem 1.2. So look at the sketch very carefully. We'll draw this part and we'll extrude, and then we'll draw this sketch and extrude. And then we'll add these two circles at the top. So let's start new drawing. On the right, I will open the sketch. Like this. And I will also add dimensions. This is 8. This is 36. Now these two should be aligned. Now distance between them is 5 as given. Now angle is 65. Now from top, this is 15. Now let's add the height. From here to here it is 58. Now let's add the remaining sketch part. So from here, let's add, this is of 24, this is of 16. From here to here it is given 16. This part is of 18. And this fully define the sketch. So shortcut key S. Now extrude this part by 28. Okay. Similarly, let's expand the sketch and click on extrude and select this. This time it is of 18. Sorry. Let's save the part. On top, open the sketch and draw two circles of equal diameter, and their diameter is 6. Now let's center line, put it over here. Now let's give the side distance 7. And from here it is also 7. Now press S, shortcut key, and extrude by 6 mm. So the answer is 739, which is given in the PDF. So here is the answer, 739. Now let's solve practice problem 1.3. Open new document, choose millimeter template. I'll go on top, one circle, second circle. Dimension of inside circle is given 20. Now distance between these two circles is given 6. Similarly, the small circle is of 6 millimeter. This is of 12. Now the distance between them is 38. Let's join line, tangent line, and make this point and center of second point horizontal. Now let's press S key and extrude. This time I will extrude this part by 14. I will expand the sketch and I will extrude again. This time I will extrude this region by 6. Again I will use same sketch and I will extrude. This time I will extrude by, let's edit this and also add these regions and this circle. Now let's go for again and extrude This time I will choose this and I will reverse the directions and I will add the distance by 24. Now answer is not matching, so there is a mistake over here. This is radius is 9, so it is going to be 18. So let's exit, save this. Now it is 16267 and let's check to the PDF. Again it is 1628, so it's a complete match. Now let's try practice problem 1.4. The dimensions are given in inch and the answer of volume is 0.146 in inch cube. Now start a new document. This time I will choose this template. So on the front I will open the sketch. I will choose ellipse. Overall dimensions from here to here it is 1.6. From here to here it is 0.5. Select this point and this point and make it horizontal. Again let's add the circle over here. Now their diameters are equal. Select them and make equal and give the diameters. Diameter is 0.125. Now let's increase the precision level so it read properly to 0.125. Now their distance from end is given, which is 0.175. Let's make its precision level to 3. Similarly, from here to here it is 0.175. Let's make them horizontal. Let's add circle in the center whose diameter is 0.45. Now let's add the hexagon, or we'll add later. Now let's use shortcut key S and extrude. Now for the regions I will choose these two so that the ellipse get extruded with these small two holes. Now the extrusion depth as given in problem is 0.15. Now let's expand and reuse same sketch again. This time I will choose this circle and I will extrude by I will offset it. So from surface I will start as given in the manual. So this will be 0.45. Let's draw over here the hexagon. Make this horizontal. The distance from side to side is 0.25. So shortcut key extrude cut. Now from here I have to choose offset from surface. So this is the surface and I have to add 0.15. Please save and rebuild it. Now it is reading 0.15. Let's go over here, evolute and mass property. Let's go to options and choose the precision value to 3. Now it comes out 0.146 cubic inch. So this is the perfectly matched with the PDF answer. Let's solve problem 1.5. Here the dimensions are given in inch and the answer is 0.5492 inch cube. Start new document. Select the inch template, or you can start with the default template and change the units from millimeter to IPS. I will draw so this is 0.8. Similarly, this is also 0.8. Now let's draw center line and a rectangle. Let's make the horizontal sides symmetric. Let's give dimensions to this horizontal side of rectangle to 3.25. Now let's give the width is 0.4. Now let's draw a hexagon over here. Make this horizontal. This dimension is 0.5. And I will choose trim, and I will use this option, keep trim entities as construction geometry. So I will remove this part. So from here to here, it is converted into construction geometry. Similarly, I will remove this part and this part. Now let's try to draw the lines from here like this. Let's draw vertical center line. From here to here it is 0.4. This line is 0.25. From here to here, dimension is 0.5. Now let's mirror these entities and trim this part. Now let's try to extrude. S for shortcut key. I will choose this part and this part. The thickness is 0.3. Rebuild this. Let's say the volume is 0.55, which is as given in the exercise. So the volume is correct. Again, you can go to mass property and try to change the precision level to 3 digit, which is 0.55. So it is perfectly matching. Now let's try to solve problem 1.6. Here dimensions are given in millimeter. So this is isometric view, front, top and side view. Let's start with the millimeter. I will use center rectangle. We'll add the radius 8 and also add 2 circle. Make them their center perfectly aligned. choose them and make their diameter equal. Add the diameter as given 8. Now add the dimension between them as given 40. They should be equally distributed from the center. So add center line. Now select this and the center and make them symmetric. Go to extrude and add the thickness 5. Now let's add center part by drawing the sketch on a right plane. So here I will draw like this. Now I'll make this kind of a structure. This and this will be equal. Value will be 2. This is 14. So from here to here it is 15. This radius is 12.5 because diameter is 25. From here I will draw a line. Choose this and make them tangent. Now from here, from back side it is 40. Now let's add the circle of 8 diameter. Now let's drag the sketch. It is underdefined. So as given in PDF, this center and this center is coincident. This line is still underdefined. Now we assume that because of inclination of 15 degree, so inclination from center to this point is 15 and also from this point to this is 15. So I will draw a center line from here to here and vertical center line, this one, and I will provide angle between them as 15. Again I need to add the line over here to close the area. Now let's go and extrude. So this is the first one, midpoint, and it is 18. 18. Okay. Now let's expand that part again and extrude, and this time I will choose this region and I will extrude by 9. So Control B, and it is 240 32, and answer is again 240 32 given in the PDF file. So it is correct. Now let's try to solve problem 1.7. Here, to solve this exercise, we'll begin from the front, we'll draw this shape and we'll extrude this L shape. And from the bottom, we'll try to create this geometry. This way we are going to complete this exercise. So open new document. So let's begin in sketching in front. This is 60. This is 100. Similarly, from here to here. Let's give the dimensions. Now let's extrude. So the extrusion depth is given is 15. Now let's go and start creating the sketch on this side. Because orientation is wrong, let's flip it so it will match with the top view given in PDF file. So let's begin. Again, let's align this edge with this. Let's also complete this part of a sketch. Let's align with this. This is 15. This is 50. This is 30. And this is given as on a side view it is 23. Now let's align with this line coincident. So this edge is aligned as given in the top view. Let's draw circle whose diameter is 13 and from here it is 12. Now let's align the center. Let's go to an extrude. I will choose this region and flip the directions, and depth is as given is 15. Again expand same sketch and extrude it. This time I will choose this and reverse the direction, and I will choose the end reference up to surface, and I will choose this and click OK. Now let's create the hole over here. So select this side and click OK. So draw the circle whose diameter is 20. Now dimensions are given. So this is 30. Now let's add the horizontal dimensions, which is 50 as given in the sketch. So let's extrude cut. We can go through all because it is not touching to any surface. Now let's measure the volume. I have added the sensor over here. Let's rebuild it. So the final answer is 148171. And in the PDF, it is given as 148117. So it is within the 1% error. Now let's try practice problem 1.8. Here, the overall dimension is 200, 125 and 175. Along with that, we need to consider the text given over here, right angle. So let's try to build this exercise. So start new document. On a front, I will draw the midpoint line. I will give the dimensions 200 as given. This is 50. Now let's draw a center line. So here again it is 50. Draw like this. Here these two lines are at 90 degree. They must be symmetric about. Now let's add overall height 125. So here it is given it is right angle. So you need to make these two lines having 90 degree in between them and make them symmetric about this vertical center line. Otherwise you're not going to get the length of this line. Orally you are not able to fully define the sketch. So let's extrude. The extrude depth is total 175. Now from here let's draw the remaining part. So let's draw a center line. So from here let's also draw horizontal line. Now let's add the dimensions. So this is 15. This is also 15. And from here to here, this is 50. Orally, the height is given 100. Let's mirror. Now let's extrude. Let's reverse, and this time up to surface we'll choose this. Now the volume given in the PDF file is 298,28250. So it is exactly matching. So our answer is correct. Now let's try practice problem 1.9. We'll begin by drawing this rectangle. Then we'll add the four corners. Then we'll also join this segment. And we'll first try to extrude this middle part and then this four corner extrusions block and the bottom part without these four corners. So let's try in SolidWorks. So start the part file with the appropriate. Now let's go to top. Here I will choose the center point rectangle 100 by 175. Now I will also add rectangle whose dimension is 22 by 40. Now I will add few center lines, horizontal and vertical. Now I will mirror this rectangle. I will repeat the mirror part. Now I will also add some lines over here. Now let's extrude. Now let's extrude all the regions by 25. If you're not comfortable with the region concept, just go build part by part. Now let's expand the sketch and again extrude. This time this region, this region, this region and this region. But here the overall height is given 25. Okay. So that is top surface. So we need to shift from the surface concept over here and we have to add the 25 mm as given in the side view. So this is our starting surface. So from here it is 25 given, but our sketch lies on the bottom. That's why we have to use in both extrude these options. We have to change the from conditions. Now let's again select the same sketch and extrude. This time I will choose this region, this region, this region, this region, and along with this region, but I will change the directions. Again, it is 30. So this way you are able to create the object. If you are not comfortable, go one by one. Create the sketch separately and add the extrusions. Now let's verify the volume. Here the volume is 9442, but in the exam PDF file it is given 944900. So let's verify what's the difference. So here the answer is 944214.29. Now let's divide by the answer given in the PDF. So 944900. So it is within the 1%. So in CSWA exam, you may come across this problem. Your answer may not be exactly matching, but you have to go with the very nearest answer. So here in exam, it is always allowed by variation by 1%. So it is within 1%. So our answer is correct. Now let's try practice problem 1.10. Here special note is given over here. So go through that note. Now in top view, we are going to create this shape and will extrude by typically 10 millimeter thickness as it is given. And from the front side, we'll add these two round ends. So let's start. Now on the top, let's open the sketch. From here, diameter is 25. Outside diameter is 40, but it is given in terms of radius, which is 20. Now let's draw such lines. Let's make sure they are symmetric. Now let's add tangent line. Now let's trim this part. Now let's finalize the dimensions. So here, this angle is given as 35. From here it is 45. And in between this, it is given 19. Here it is, value is not mentioned, but from figure you can understand that this relation between these two lines is 90 degree. Now, when I move the sketch, from that I need to lock the center perfectly aligned with the origin. Now let's extrude by 10. Now here I will open new sketch. So from here, also add the circle, which is typically having, and this diameter is, radius is 18. And the height is from here to here it is 32. Now yet we need to give some typical dimensions. So from here to here it is 20. So now let's extrude. Reverse the direction and thickness is 10. Now choose this right plane and let's mirror the feature. select from the tree and click OK. So the volume is 46036.84, but in the PDF file it is given as 45438. If you take the ratio, it is again within the 1% error. So our answer is correct. Now let's solve problem 1.11, which is very simple. We'll start from this base rectangle. We'll place the holes, extrude it, then we'll place in the middle this shape and we'll extrude by 20. Start new document. So on the front, let's sketch the center rectangle, because in the practice problem it is given that origin is center. So 55, 125. Now let's add the circle. Diameter is 15. Make sure it is aligned with the origin. Now let's mirror. Now let's give the dimension between them, which is 75. Press shortcut key and create the extrusions. The distance is 10. Now on the right plane, I will create a sketch. I will convert this edge and I will provide the dimensions. So this is 15. From here, from the back edge, the distance is 55. Shortcut key, extrude. This time I will use right click and mid plane. The depth is 20. Let's save the part. And you can go over here and find the volume, or you can find from the sensor which I have created. So the answer is 96715, and it is given in the PDF file 96716. So it is perfectly fine. Now let's try to solve practice problem 1.12. It is very simple bracket type of problem. We'll begin from the right plane with this shape and we'll extrude it. Then we'll add this triangular shape and we'll cut the hole. Start document on a millimeter template. Please check your units. On a right plane, you can just draw L shape. This is 10. This is also 10, given in top view. And in front view, this is 55. From top view, this is 75. Now let's extrude. The total depth is 125. Now let's add triangular part over here. You can use either reef feature or extrude features. It's up to you. But if you use extrude, then you have to create regions. So let's try, instead extrude, let's try reef features. So for that I need to create a sketch. So from here to here. Now let's go to features and create a reef. I need to understand the depth, which is 10. Perfectly fine. Let's click OK. Now let's add the circular hole. So here its diameter is 20. For reference, it is given as 62.5, and from bottom it is given as 25. So let's create a cut. Now let's see the volume. It is 177,233. So it is completely matched with the given answer. Now in practice problem 1.13, we'll have to use a single extrude feature to create this object. But before that, we need to draw this sketch. Please mind well what are the sketch dimensions are given. Let's say here these two lines are parallel. Again, on the left side, the value is given in terms of angular deviation, which is 4 degree. The top side, the radius is 3. It is drawn on circular part of having diameter of 40. And the larger diameter, which is used as a reference, is of 125. So let's try to solve this problem and try to match the answer. So start with the document. Because it is require only single extrude features, so we'll solve in a front plane. So this diameter is 23. Another diameter is 40. Here, this diameter is 6. In the file, it is given as radius. Now let's draw the largest circle, which is of 25, and turn into construction circle. Now let's add the center lines. One more from here to here. So angle between them is given as 16. Now let's place the circle over here. Radius is 5, so diameter is 10. Now let's draw a line. It should be parallel to the center line. Now let's extend and attach over here. Similarly, let's draw one more line. And let's extend like this. Now let's add the angle 4 degree. Now let's trim away the additional part. Now let's add the radiuses. That is between the smaller circle, this line. Now let's make them tangent to the respective entities. Now its diameter is 75. Now let's trim the unwanted part. Now let's add the radiuses. It is of 25 value, but should be tangent to the circle. Now let's trim this part. Let's add center line to mirror the created geometry. So select this one, circle, this line, this one, and click on mirror. Select this part. Sorry, let's select this, and this time right click. Again, let's trim the additional thing. Okay, now let's try to extrude this part. So press S and extrude. Thickness is 5. Let's try to see the volume. The volume is 9533.84, and in the PDF file the solution answer is this 9534. So it is perfectly matching, which is within the 1% error. Now let's practice problem 1.14. Just go through the front, side and top view for the sketch dimensions. Select the appropriate template. So on a top plane, I will use rectangle tool, especially middle rectangle tool. And I will use the radius tool 20 and select the rectangle. Now let's add the circle. This and this 4 circle are equal. Now let's give the dimensions 20. So shortcut key and extrude. Thickness is 10. Right click. Okay. Now let's draw on a right plane the remaining part. So here let's draw the center line. I will use rectangle tool, and the height is given from the bottom, so we cannot use the direct sketch dimensions. So this is 75, this is 120, and let's make them symmetric. So select this line, press Ctrl, center line, this line, and make them symmetric. Let's add radius of 10 value to these two corners. Let's add circle over here whose diameter is 25. Now let's locate its center from the bottom by 55. Again, the reference dimension is given, which is 60. Now let's extrude. This time it will be mid plane. So thickness is 10. Now let's try to see the volume. Here it is 581662, which is perfectly matched with the given answer. You can go over to Evaluate tab and you can find the same over here. But to avoid that extra steps, I have added a sensor. Now let's try problem 1.15. So we'll begin in front plane, this shape, then we'll add this bottom part, and lastly we are going to add this bracket. So start new document. On front plane, let's open the sketch. Let's start drawing the line. This is 40 as given. Now let's add the dimensions. From here to here it is 35. This is 10. Then now let's apply angle tool. So this is 30. And overall height is 65 as given in sketch. Now here still we have to fix the height of this line. If you look at the sketch very carefully, it is aligned with the bottom part. So let's sketch from here like this and add the center point radius. Let's remove this part. Let's make them tangent. So from here it is 15. Radius is 7. Now let's align this with this. And let's align as given in the sketch. This line is aligned with this vertical edge. Let's add circle which is of 7 diameter. Shortcut key and extrude. This time I will choose this region, these two regions, and I will, so it is 20. Again expand this case and extrude. This time I will choose this region. I will flip the direction and I will add the thickness 5. So match your construction with the sketch provided in PDF file. Now let's open the sketch one over here. So let's start here. Make sure the arc is tangent with the geometry. This is given as 7. Let's add circle whose diameter is 6. Let's add dimension from here to here. It is given as 45. And the angle between these two is 65. Let's extrude by 5 mm. Now let's measure the volume. It is 45867. Here it is 45866.92. So it is completely right. Let's try 1.16. Now instead of creating this sketch and extruding 2 times with the same sketch, I will attempt first the bottom plate, then I'll draw this upper part and extrude it. You can cover in a single sketch and reuse the same sketch, but ultimately you will have to have a 2 extrude feature in this case. So create new document. Let's create the rectangle in front. So this is 15, 125. Press extrude. Reverse the directions and the width is 60. Now let's open the sketch over here. Again, let's add the circle. Radius is 20. Now center is located From here it is at 50. And overall height is 35. Now sketch is fully defined. Let's go for extrusion. Reverse the direction, and this time the depth is 40. Now let's measure the volume. Here it is 157066. It is perfectly matched with the provided solution. You can also go over here in evolute and find the mass property over here. But to save the time, I have added this sensor over here. Now let's try 1.17. It's a simple single extrusion feature object. We'll draw the sketch in front. We'll start from bottom side. The radius is 12, means diameter is 24. Again, it is 11. Now let's draw the line. Let's draw center line to create the angle between these two drawing entities. So this is 24. From here to here it is 135. From here to here it is 65. Now let's add the circle whose diameter is the same, which is 11. Now let's locate its center from right side 35, and from here it is given 12. If you wish, you can remove this part. Let's try to remove that part. Now let's extrude. It is 10. Let's expand the sensor. So volume is 38692.72 and the given answer is 3869.293. It is 93, so it is perfectly fine. Now let's try 1.18. So we'll begin creating 3D part from the top, and then we'll from side view we'll add these two component. See, open the part. Let's model. Let's go to the top view. Dimension is 100. Let's place this circle having diameter 45 and extrude. On the upside it is given as 10 because the top surface aligned with the right side part. Now let's try to create a sketch in a front. So from here, so let's draw the line. Let's extend, whose dimension is 155 up to like this, and makes this horizontal. So this is 10 This is given as 20. So from here it is given as 8. Now let's add dimensions. So from here to here it is 20. So let's extrude. Now it is from the sketch plane, it should be offset by 8 mm as given in the exercise file. So let's offset by 8 millimeter and then reverse it, the extrusion directions, and depth is 32. Now use this front plane to mirror that feature. So go to sensor and find the volume. So it is 295295. So it is 295296. So it is perfectly matching with the given answer. Now let's try exercise 1.19. It's very simple. We begin from the top view. We'll extrude with these two holes. We'll add this part and then we'll add this part. So start modeling with the millimeter template. So let's use overall is 40 and 75. Now let's add like this. So this is 60. And from here it is 25. So let's trim. Now let's add circles. This is 15. Make sure both circles are aligned. Now distance between them is given 35. Now let's add one more fully defined dimensions. From here to here is 55. Let's extrude by 5. Now let's start from here and sketch the back part. Let's make this vertical, convert into entities. Let's make this tangent as well. And let's add radius 25. And overall height is from the bottom is 35. So let's extrude, reverse the directions, and thickness is again 5 mm. Let's complete the sketch on this side. So from here, so let's complete by converting into entities. Now let's add the dimensions. So from here to here it is 21. And from bottom to this point as 12. Overall height is 20. Now let's make this vertical. Now let's extrude. Reverse the direction. Thickness is as given is again 5 mm. Now let's expand and measure the volume. So it is 26719, which is perfectly matching with the given answer. Now let's try practice problem 1.20. We'll begin by drawing this circle. Then we'll add the two rectangles which are tangent to this center hole. Same for at the bottom side, but at a 90 degree. So start new part 5. Let's go on a top and create a circle. Diameter is 110. Again, one more circle having diameter 32. Okay. Now let's add a rectangle over here. Before that, let's add this center line. Okay, let's make them tangent. Let's contact these two, and dimension is typically 12. So let's mirror this rectangle. So let's extrude. I will use complete circle and this region first. Okay. So the overall thickness is 10. I will expand the sketch. Again, I will extrude, but this time I will use these two rectangles whose thickness is 20. Extrusion thickness is 20, but we need to offset from this surface. So because the sketch is drawn at the bottom side. So overall height is 20. Let's do the same thing. Let's draw a sketch from the bottom side. But this time we'll draw rectangle horizontal. So here it is 12. So this must be tangent to this hole. And this must be coincident with the periphery. Now let's mirror. Now let's extrude by given distance 20. Expand the sensor to see the answer. Here answer is 177,881, and in the solution file it is 812, so which is correct.